Chapter 1446, Soul Path, Trap Dispelled. Soon, Yilui Kunxing's soul entered the range of the faint white radiance. Why Yilui Kunxing's soul strangely quietened, not moving at all, as if it had suddenly lost its ability to think. Then, specks of faint green lights started to fly out of the soul. The amount of these lights grew rapidly and drifted in the air like a drizzle of rain. Fang Yuan willed as these specks of light found a direction. They surged towards the strength path, immortal zombie body. Layers of light covered the immortal zombie body, destroying the soul path down marks in it. Time passed. The soul path down marks on the immortal zombie began to decrease gradually, while Yilui Kunxing's soul also began to weaken constantly. Fang Yuan's mind was calm as still water, maintaining the killer move stably without any hesitation. This killer move needed to be maintained for over 3 days and 3 nights before the soul path trap in the immortal zombie body could be completely removed. The whole process would spend over 1,200 beads of red date immortal essence. This was the case after using a rank 7 goo immortal soul and cleanse soul immortal goo, with the exact method recorded in Spectral Soul's True Inheritance. If Fang Yuan were to envision it himself with trial and error, the amount of time, effort, and resources required would be astronomical. Fang Yuan was not worried about lacking immortal essence. He had made ample preparation. Time slowly passed like this. 3 days and 3 nights passed. Fang Yuan slowly stopped the killer move that he calculated for a moment. The amount of red date immortal essence used had passed 1,300, and it was after he used some immortal goo to replace several original procedures. This huge immortal essence expenditure emptied his immortal essence storage at once. But Fang Yuan was instead filled with joy. Perceivable Dao immortal goo. He activated this unique information path immortal goo, and after inspecting the Dao marks, he smiled in satisfaction. It's finally gone. The soul path trap on the immortal zombie body is completely removed. It had not been easy to it truly had not been easy. The issue of the soul path trap had troubled Fang Yuan for a long time. Now, he had finally resolved it. For a moment, the joy of success filled Fang Yuan's heart. But, after he calmed down, he did not personally test it. He was cautious. He chose to use other goo immortal souls to inspect the body. After several tests, he verified there was indeed no issue. Fang Yuan then moved his soul into the immortal zombie body to the next moment. The immortal zombie body opened its eyes and slowly stood up. Fang Yuan gazed at his 8 huge arms and stretched his whole body. I can finally use my body again. Fang Yuan's feelings were somewhat nostalgic at this moment, as if he had returned home after a long journey. Fang Yuan softly rubbed his stomach. Only a rank 5 aperture remained there. The previous rank 6 strength path dead aperture had already crumbled, and the strength path Dao marks had moved into Fang Yuan's physical body. From this perspective, Fang Yuan's strength path immortal zombie was a genuine rank 6 strength path immortal material. The rank 6 strength path dead aperture was the aperture Fang Yuan gained after using second aperture goo, raising it to an immortal aperture. The rank 5 peak stage aperture was his original aperture. Spring-autumn cicada was still firmly sealed inside this aperture. The purple crystal walls of the aperture were already filled with cracks. After all, Spring-autumn cicada was a rank 6 immortal goo which put huge pressure on the mortal aperture. However, Fang Yuan was not worried about the aperture walls shattering under the pressure. He could already deal with it before, and he could do it even better now that he had shadow sects inheritances. Fang Yuan absolutely would not give up Spring-autumn cicada. However, Spring-autumn cicada was filled with heaven's will currently. Fang Yuan would have to get rid of all the heaven's will in it to use it. Obtaining a pure rank 6 Spring-autumn cicada was far from Fang Yuan's target. Fang Yuan's next plan was to use this foundation to refine rank 7 Spring-autumn cicada. But before refining rank 7 Spring-autumn cicada, I should first advance this body to rank 6. Rank 6 time path goo immortal. This had been Fang Yuan's initial plan. Fang Yuan did not intend to give up on this plan. After the successful attempt, Fang Yuan's soul moved out and returned to his sovereign immortal body. As for this immortal zombie body, it was still suppressed in the goo formation. After all, Spring-autumn cicada contained heaven's will. Fang Yuan had to be prepared just in case. let's test wisdom goo. When he thought of this, Fang Yuan actually felt a trace of impatient eagerness that he came out of the secret room and directly flew towards wisdom goo. Ever since Hu immortal blessed land had been attacked and captured by heavenly court, wisdom goo had been transported to Langya blessed land by hairy man goo immortals using some secret method. From then on, it had been fed and raised by Langya land spirit and had not been transferred to other places. Fang Yuan soon went in front of wisdom goo. This movement naturally attracted Langya land spirit's attention. Langya land spirit's expression was somewhat strange. Fang Yuan, someone has framed you. What do you mean? Hee, Yun Liang is dead. There was a crucial clue left behind in the battlefield which directly points to you as the killer. Moreover, your Luguani identity was also completely exposed. Now, the whole of Northern Plains Gu immortal world. No, the Gu immortal world of all 5 regions is shaken because of this news. Langya land spirit laughed. Although Fang Yuan needed to use a rank 7 Gu immortal soul to get rid of the soul path trap, he already had such souls in his possession. Not only of Yi Lui Kun Xing, he also had souls of Fairy Chui Bo, Lu Tribes Lu Yong, Ma Hong Yun soul, and even the whole living body of He Chum. Previously, Sixth Heir had been worried that Fang Yuan wanted to go to Northern Plains to kill a Gu immortal. Fang Yuan had replied that it was under control, that he naturally would not take such risks. He already had Gu immortal souls which could be used for this purpose. What Fang Yuan wanted to do was to rest, striving for time while he strengthened himself. He did not want to go fight outside. After Fang Yuan inquired about the details, he soon realized this is probably Heavenly Court's doing. Yun Liang is a lone immortal, but Longevity Heaven actually agreed to his and Murong Qing Si's marriage, and even showed a trace of joy in seeing it happen. This is Longevity Heaven's preparation to face the coming great era. But how could Heavenly Court allow it? They naturally would try to wreck this plan. Fang Yuan, your analysis is logical. Langya land spirit nodded, shortly smiling strangely. Now, Longevity Heaven is extremely furious, and the newly appointed South Desolation Immortal, Yao Huang, has even declared he will capture you and bring you to justice. You are currently not only a sworn enemy of Northern Plains' righteous path, even demonic path and lone immortals are hostile towards you. Fang Yuan grunted in acknowledgement. This was understandable. In the Battle of Reverse Flow River, Fang Yuan had offended Northern Plains' righteous path, as well as old ancestor Shui Hu, who represented the demonic path. Yun Liang was a symbol of Northern Plains' lone immortals, and Fang Yuan, who was proclaimed to be his killer, would naturally suffer hostility from this faction. All right, forget this. Make a move quickly. Let me see if you can summon the light of wisdom or not. Langya land spirit urged impatiently. Okay, I am also looking forward to this. Fang Yuan took a deep breath. The probability of success was high. If it succeeded, he would grow at an immense rate. Chapter 1447, Regaining What He Lost. Fang Yuan sat cross-legged on the ground and brought out the 8-armed immortal zombie body from his immortal aperture. Then, under Langya land spirit's gaze, he moved out his soul and entered this immortal zombie body. The immortal zombie body slowly opened its eyes and stood up. Fang Yuan took a glance at the sovereign immortal body before turning towards Wisdom Gu. Wisdom Gu. He spoke in his hoarse and unpleasant voice. Do you still remember our agreement? Wisdom Gu had been playing around, but when it heard these words, it immediately stopped and floated in the air, quietly looking at Fang Yuan. Time slowly passed. Fang Yuan could not help but hold his breath. Even though the immortal zombie did not need to breathe, Wisdom Gu seemed to be unconvinced as it began circling around Fang Yuan. It circled again and again while continuously observing Fang Yuan. After a while, it stopped and rested on a huge tree leaf. Then, a multicolored light, which became increasingly bigger, began to gradually spread from Wisdom Gu's body. The light of wisdom. Success. I finally succeeded. Fang Yuan could not hold back his laughter. Langya land spirit, who was at the side, was dumbstruck. This was the first time he was seeing this sight. Light of wisdom. This is truly the light of wisdom. Langya land spirit walked to the light of wisdom, immediately sensing his thoughts becoming extremely sharp. For an instant, he became extremely intelligent. but he cautiously retreated out of the light of wisdom's range, then enviously looked at Fang Yuan, who was inside the light. Fang Yuan actually succeeded in summoning the light of wisdom. Amazing, this kid is truly amazing. After the shock, Lang Yalan's spirit looked at Fang Yuan with a complex expression. He was in a daze. Although there were two land spirits, they both shared the same memories. Lang Yalan's spirit still remembered that time several years ago, when Fang Yuan was still only a Gu master, a trivial mortal who came to Langya blessed land for the first time. But in these few years, Fang Yuan had not only become a Gu immortal, his name was now infamous throughout the 5 regions, and he had the strength to battle rank 8. And now, he could summon the light of wisdom and even use it. His growth had skyrocketed. He had truly burst into the sky that if Fang Yuan had not inherited the Shadow Sect inheritances and only obtained the light of wisdom, he could only be considered a tiger with wings at most. But Fang Yuan possessed Shadow Sect's inheritances. As such, the help that the light of wisdom could give Fang Yuan reached an unimaginable level. Lang Yalan's spirit had gone through countless years and had seen all kinds of characters, but now he could no longer estimate Fang Yuan's growth. There was no way to estimate it. He absolutely could not predict Fang Yuan's following cultivation and progress. Any accomplishments Fang Yuan made in the future would be understandable and acceptable. Now, Fang Yuan soon restrained his laughter to calm down and spoke to Wisdom Gu. "All right, Wisdom Gu, please stop. Let me take a break." The light of wisdom slowly shrunk and disappeared. Fang Yuan took a deep breath before saying, "Wisdom Gu, let us continue." At the next moment, the light of wisdom spread once again. Fang Yuan clenched his fists tightly. He was extremely excited. This fact completely proved that the light of wisdom was back once again. From now on, barring any accidents, he could continue using light of wisdom till eternity. Fang Yuan then turned around and smiled towards Lang Yalan's spirit. "First Supreme Elder, let us exchange inheritances." Lang Yalan's spirit inwardly praised. Fang Yuan's mind is still so clear. "Okay," he agreed, not hesitating even a little. If it were the previous Lang Yalan spirit, he might have refused because he only liked refining Gu. But the current Lang Yalan spirit wanted hairy men to rule the world, so he issued ironclad policies, actively promoting talents, and doing everything to turn Langya's sect into a powerful sect, and such a sect naturally had to be widely involved in many paths. It would not do to just have refinement path. After all, refinement path's battle strength was lacking compared to other paths. Lang Yalan's spirit was extremely desirous of the many inheritances in Fang Yuan's possession, especially Spectral Soul's true inheritance. Back then, Spectral Soul Demon Venerable slaughtered countless beings. He was the Venerable with the deepest killing nature. His soul path true inheritance naturally had absolute power. If Langya's sect obtained it, it would fill the sect's deficiency. Both sides soon completed the exchange. Fang Yuan obtained almost all the inheritances of Langya's sect, which included the complete self-luck true inheritance and long-hair ancestors' refinement path true inheritance, and Lang Yalan's spirit obtained Spectral Soul's true inheritance, Limitless true inheritance, Red Lotus true inheritance, Paradise Earth's true inheritance, as well as countless other true inheritances. The inheritances that Shadow Sect bothered to collect were naturally beyond outstanding. Thus, based on value, Fang Yuan had paid more than Langya's sect to make up for this discrepancy. Lang Yalan's spirit handed Luopa Valley to Fang Yuan once again. Currently, Fang Yuan was a public enemy of the whole world. Adding on his previous acts, Lang Yalan's spirit's trust in him increased by a lot. "Fang Yuan is one of us. Anyway, my sect's members can still use Luopa Valley even if I give it to him." This was Lang Yalan's spirit's secret calculation. And to Fang Yuan, he had already obtained a portion of the essence of self-luck true inheritance, one of the 3 great true inheritances of Giant Sun, Immortal Venerable. Now, he had obtained its complete essence. Long-hair ancestors' refinement path true inheritance mostly talked of the hairy man heaven and earth-style refinement path method, which was not very helpful to Fang Yuan directly. In this transaction, both sides bought and sold inheritances. It did not involve any immortal Gu. Naturally, Fang Yuan really wanted to take some immortal Gu in Langya's sect. For instance, Heavenly Essence Treasure Imperial Lotus. Unfortunately, Fang Yuan's spirit was strict about not selling these immortal goo. Fang Yuan did not leave immediately. Instead, he continued bathing in the light of wisdom and began thinking of all sorts of issues. Fang Yuan's spirit left in sadness at this sight. Obtaining the help of the light of wisdom once again, Fang Yuan was no longer the same as before. All kinds of wisdom path methods activated in coordination, causing his thoughts to collide endlessly. The Immortal Killer move, which used affection immortal goo and self-love immortal goo, allowed Fang Yuan to possess immortal level self-will goo, giving him an endless supply of wills.I. In this way, the light of wisdom could unleash its mystical effects to its limit, and soon, Fang Yuan obtained a satisfying answer. Immortal Killer move, Ghost Official Garment. This was a set of Immortal Killer move and Spectral Soul True Inheritance. Its effect was to defend against Heaven's will and other goo. Immortal's Deductions.It was a defensive killer move. It was classified into 4 levels, corresponding to rank 6, rank 7, rank 8, and rank 9, with the original foundation. Fang Yuan modified this Immortal Killer move so that even without the core Immortal goo, he could use other Immortal goo as the replacement. Chapter 1448, Ghost Official Garment. The modified Immortal Killer move, Ghost Official Garment, used rank 7 Change Soul Immortal goo and rank 6 Cleanse Soul Immortal goo as the cores. After several failures, Fang Yuan succeeded in activating it. He directly moved out his soul from his sovereign immortal body. His soul floated in the air. It was not very condensed. His soul foundation had been expended several times because of burning soul bursting luck, and was now only at 100-man soul level. The difference was that his soul was now covered in a broad garment, with long sleeves and a lower hem that was dragging on the ground. This was the manifestation of the killer move. Ghost Official Garment. Its general term was Ghost Official Garment, but if it was subdivided, rank 6 level Ghost Official Garment was called Ghost Soldier Garment, rank 7 was Ghost General Garment, rank 8 was Ghost King Garment, and rank 9 was Ghost Venerable Garment. At rank 9 level, it could defend against rank 9 Venerable's deductions. Naturally, this was only in theory. Even Spectral Soul Demon Venerable had not raised this killer move to rank 9 in the past, because he did not need to. He was a Grand Demon Venerable when alive, slaughtering countless beings. He simply did not need to defend against deductions. As such, the highest level of his Ghost Official Garment was only rank 8. Fang Yuan's soul inspected it and was puzzled. Why is it only rank 6 Ghost Soldier Garment? After he modified the killer move, the core was replaced by rank 7 Change Soul and rank 6 Cleanse Soul. That meant this was a rank 7 killer move. Why was it Ghost Soldier Garment instead of Ghost General Garment? Is it because of my modification? This guess had just appeared in Fang Yuan's mind before he denied it. He had used the light of wisdom to modify it. How could it be wrong? Oh, I understand. Fang Yuan thought for a moment before he realized. The answer was in his body. Beneath Ghost Official Garment was another layer of clothing that if Ghost Soldier Garment was said to be made of hemp and was a shoddy product, then this inner garment was like silk. It was extremely compact, giving an exquisite and smooth feeling. This clothing of Tao marks was the rank 9 Immortal Killer move Ghostly Concealment. Just based on their ranks, Ghost Soldier Garment could never compare to it. The original Ghost Official Garment was meant to directly attach to my soul. But now, it has been separated by a layer. Thus it fell from rank 7 to rank 6. Fang Yuan had never expected such a problem, but he had all along been enjoying the advantage of non-conflicting Tao marks of the sovereign immortal body. He had never expected to stumble slightly on this matter. There is no conflict of Tao marks in my sovereign immortal body. But there is still a conflict between killer moves of different paths. Ghostly Concealment has ghost in its name, but it is a theft path killer move, while Ghost Official Garment is a soul path killer move. The two conflict with each other. To solve this issue, the most fundamental method is to combine both into one move. Fang Yuan bitterly smiled when he thought this. The difficulty was too big. Fang Yuan had no understanding of ghostly concealment. Moreover, he lacked attainment in theft path and soul path. Even with the light of wisdom to help him deduce, the progress would be extremely slow. According to the current conditions, He would have to keep on deducing for hundreds to thousands of years without rest, and even then he might not deduce a successful outcome. After all, it was a rank 9 killer move, and to Fang Yuan, rank 9 was far away. Despite him possessing rank 8 battle strength, he was not even a rank 8 Gu immortal. Then let's do this. Fang Yuan put his soul back in his body. He did not intend to further improve his method. He had obtained all the inheritances of Shadow Sect, and just earlier, he had exchanged them with almost all the inheritances of Langya's sect. It was only almost. There were some crucial contents which both sides did not exchange. This applied to both Langya's sect and Fang Yuan. Even so, the near-complete collection of inheritances in Langya's sect had reached an enormous amount, only slightly inferior to Shadow Sect's collection. After all, Longhair Ancestor was from the medieval antiquity era. He had lived 300,000 years ago. Langya Blessed Land had also existed for 300,000 years. Based on just time alone, Langya's sect was much older than Shadow Sect. But the inheritances in Langya's sect were basically all related to refinement path. Even inheritances of other paths mostly touched upon refinement path. Moreover, Langya's sect's collection ability definitely could not match Spectral Soul Demon Venerable and Shadow Sect. Fang Yuan was able to get both the collections for his own use. Just based on inheritances, he had already surpassed any one ancient sect of Central Continent. 2 or 3 ancient sects would have to collaborate to match the amount of inheritances he had. As for Heavenly Court, Fang Yuan could not compare to them. Heavenly Court had been governed by 3 immortal venerables, and its history was extremely long. It was established 3 million years ago, in the remote antiquity era. Combining the inheritances Fang Yuan held currently, Ghost Official Garment was the most suitable to him, and also had the highest growth potential. In the future, it would be the most useful immortal killer move that could defend against others' deductions as well as deceive heaven's will. It could be said that Ghost Official Garment killer move was a key part of Spectral Soul's true inheritance. It was very special. Once activated, it could last forever. It did not spend immortal essence. Instead, it expended the Gu Immortal's soul foundation to maintain itself. Theoretically, as long as the Gu Immortal's soul existed, in Ghost Official Garment was not directly attacked, it could last for eternity. Precisely because it was linked to a Gu Immortal's soul foundation, it had another huge advantage. Its might would change according to the Gu Immortal's soul foundation. When the Gu Immortal's soul foundation increased, Ghost Official Garment's might would also increase. And similarly, if the soul foundation fell, Ghost Official Garment would also weaken. Previously, I used Dark Limit Immortal Gu, and had to reactivate it after every set interval of time to replenish its effect. It was really inconvenient, especially when escaping. But Ghost Official Garment can last forever with just one activation, and its strength grows with my soul foundation. This was a practical immortal killer move. In fact, there were other soul path killer moves that could be used together with it. For instance, the killer moves Soul Shaking Flag and Soul Shackle. These 2 moves could be used with Ghost Soldier Garment. Once activated, when Fang Yuan's soul leaves his body, not only would it be covered with the Ghost Garment, it would also have weapons, the Soul Shaking Flag in its right hand and Soul Shackles in his left hand. With this, even Fang Yuan's soul would possess offensive prowess. This was also an important characteristic of Spectral Soul's true inheritance, to allow a person's soul to possess powerful battle strength. However, Fang Yuan only chose Ghost Official Garment, and did not choose Soul Shaking Flag or Soul Shackle. After testing the effect of Ghost Official Garment, Fang Yuan continued to bathe in the light of wisdom. Borrowing the help of the light of wisdom, he began to ponder over his current situation. With Ghost Official Garment and Langya Blessed Land, I am currently safe. Even if Heavenly Court attacks, I can rely on my own strength to escape. But what I need to do is to completely destroy Heavenly Court's fate Immortal Gu. 10 years. After 10 years, Heavenly Court will have definitely restored fate. By then I probably would have no hope of winning. This was the most troubling issue Fang Yuan was facing. Heavenly Court had terrifying strength, let alone attacking Heavenly Court. It was extremely dangerous for Fang Yuan to even enter Central Continent. Heavenly Court only needed to send out 1 or 2 rank 8 Gu Immortals to make Fang Yuan's situation miserable. Even by relying on the light of wisdom, Fang Yuan was unable to think of how to resolve this greatest issue. Fortunately, I still have Red Lotus true inheritances. Red Lotus Demon Venerable had damaged Fate Gu back then and left behind his true inheritances. With Spring Autumn Cicada, the crucial key, in my hand, I have a huge possibility of obtaining his true inheritances. Fang Yuan had used Red Lotus True Inheritance to kill a Heavenly Court rank 8-time Path Gu Immortal, Lord Huangshi. So perhaps he could use other true inheritances of Red Lotus to find hope of destroying Fate Immortal Gu. Relying on Fate Gu, Heavenly Court stood unshaken to this day. Relying on Fate Gu and star constellations arrangements, Heavenly Court had resisted 3 demon venerables. Relying on Fate Gu, Heavenly Court had all along occupied the throne of the #1 Gu immortal force in the whole world. There was no doubt that destroying Fate Immortal Gu was the key to defeating Heavenly Court. That if Fang Yuan did not destroy Fate, after 10 years, it would be time for Heavenly Court to take Fang Yuan's life. Fang Yuan had inherited Shadow Sect's legacy and had a profound awareness of this point. But now is not a good time to go after the true inheritances of Red Lotus. Heavenly Court has slipped up once, but they have obtained a huge amount of precious information. Next time, they will utilize much more strength and even more rank 8 Gu Immortals. I can only continue to develop first and raise my battle strength before I go to inherit Red Lotus true inheritances. Only then will I have some hope of destroying Fate Gu. There was no doubt about this general plan. Fang Yuan currently lacked Immortal Essence, while his Immortal Essence stone storage was also almost empty. Reverse Flow Protection Seal was already being targeted. In the previous battle, Feng Jiuji's Sound Path Killer move had already begun to penetrate Reverse Flow Protection Seal and affected Fang Yuan's main body. During the battle inside the River of Time, he had barely been able to kill Lord Huangshi after using the strength of a Stone Lotus Island. Now, Fang Yuan had Spectral Soul's true inheritance along with countless inheritances. He also had Dang Hun Mountain, Luo Pa Valley, and the Light of Wisdom.I in this situation. If he did not develop and strengthen himself, running around and causing trouble instead, he would truly be asking for death. Chapter 1449, Borrowing Immortal Essence Stones. A flat and boundless plain was in her sight. Zhao Lianyun's divine sense continued to spread before finally covering the whole blessed land. She had succeeded in her immortal ascension not long ago and became a wisdom path rank 6 Gu immortal of Spirit Affinity House, forming this blessed land. Lianyun blessed land.It had a total of 5,700 square kilometers of land, a large tributary of the River of Time, with time flowing 33 times faster than the outside world, which meant the immortal aperture would produce over 30 green grape immortal essence every year, half grassland and half plain. Zhao Lianyun mumbled. The blessed land's topography was closely connected to the Gu immortal's specific situation. The grassland topography might be because Zhao Lianyun's heart was connected to northern plains, having spent most of her time there since her transmigration. As for the plain, it might be because she had inherited central continent's customs. Even without any cultivation and plantation, the grassland was already filled with green grass. While the plain had fertile land and water, with some cultivation, it could produce plenty of products. Besides the blessed land, there was also Immortal Gu. Rank 9 Love Immortal Gu went without saying. But because of her immortal ascension with a high-grade blessed land, Zhao Lianyun had obtained her second Immortal Gu. Remembrance. This was a wisdom path Immortal Gu. Its appearance was like a flying ant and had astonishing flying speed. Its whole body was silver, and when it was still, it emitted an illusory white halo. Hong Yun, do you know that I am now no longer immortal? I have become a Gu immortal. Zhao Lianyun retracted her divine sense and slowly opened her eyes, looking at the outside world. She sighed lightly. After becoming an immortal, she did feel joy, but even more than that, she felt empty and lonely in the Battle of Reverse Flow River. Ma Hongyun might have been killed by Fang Yuan, but his soul still existed. This was not random speculation by Zhao Lianyun, but had been deduced by a wisdom path Gu immortal of Spirit Affinity House, Su Hao. Zhao Lianyun chose to believe him, and thus this became her motivation and hope for putting forth effort in cultivation. Thinking of a trace of hope to revive Ma Hongyun, Zhao Linyun restrained her feelings and stood up, leaving this closed secret room. Today was an important day. Zhao Linyun walked past a corridor. Li Juning had been waiting for her at the end of the corridor. Greetings to Sister Juning. Zhao Linyun immediately bowed in greeting. Li Juning smiled. Sister Linyun, no need to be so polite. Let's go. I will accompany you to Secret Inheritance Peak. Secret Inheritance Peak was a place where spirit affinity houses Gu immortals often set foot in. Zhao Linyun was going there for the first time. Sure enough, the peak was extraordinary. It was floating in the air, surrounded by vast emptiness. It seemed to be close, but was actually far away. The aura on the mountain was thick and condensed. A high-level immortal Gu formation was set up in it. The one in charge of this peak was a supreme elder of the neutral faction. Her name was Fairy Lu Feng. In this trip, Zhao Linyun did not see Fairy Lu Feng herself, but was welcomed by a will left behind by her. Zhao Linyun did not think anything of it, but Li Juning frowned slightly. According to convention, Zhao Linyun, who was the current generation fairy of Spirit Affinity House, would be heavily nurtured by the sect, and in this first visit to Secret Inheritance Peak to receive financial assistance from the sect, she should have been personally welcomed by the Secret Inheritance Peak Master. But Fairy Lu Feng did not follow this convention. Junior Lianyun pays respects to Senior Lu Feng. Zhao Lianyun bowed to Lu Feng's will. No need to be so courteous. You are the current generation fairy of the sect. Please take a look at this Gu. Lu Feng's will smiled. Her attitude was extremely polite as she handed an information path mortal Gu to Zhao Lianyun. Zhao Lianyun looked through the contents in the Gu. There was a long list of wonderful items inside, which dazzled her eyes for a moment. I do not know much, Sister Juning. Could you please check for me? Zhao Lianyun was a smart person. She quickly handed this Gu to Li Juning. Li Juning looked through the list and nodded slightly. There was no reduction in items listed in this information path mortal Gu. It was the real deal. She transmitted her voice to Zhao Lianyun. Lianyun, since you have become a Gu immortal, and have immortal Gu love and remembrance, as well as a high-grade blessed land, your starting point is already extremely high. You now need to manage your immortal aperture and increase your foundation. The first task is to feed immortal Gu. Fortunately, even though your love immortal Gu is rank 9, it does not have any issue regarding its food. So, what you need to consider now is remembrance immortal Gu. This Gu feeds on bright eye flowers, and in this list of benefits, there is a method to raise bright eye flowers. You should choose it. Zhao Lianyun continued to nod as she transmitted her voice. You are right, sister. Then what about the other two choices? There were extraordinary benefits in being the current generation fairy of Spirit Affinity House. According to the sect rules, once the current generation fairy's cultivation makes a breakthrough, she can choose 3 resources free of charge from Secret Inheritance Peak, while other Gu immortals, besides the ones who have made huge contributions, could only use their sect contribution points to exchange for these resources. Li Juning smiled and said, besides this, I recommend you to choose Clear Chance Grass. Since you are a Wisdom Path Gu immortal, you will have to manage your immortal aperture from the Wisdom Path aspect. Clear Chance Grass is a Wisdom Path resource, and its nurturing is also rather easy. Moreover, it fetches a high price in Treasure Yellow Heaven. You won't make a loss if you choose this. Then I shall choose it, sister. Your choice won't be wrong. Zhao Lianyun quickly said. Li Juning was greatly pleased with Zhao Lianyun's attitude, her tone becoming warmer by several degrees. Then what should I pick for the final choice? Zhao Lianyun asked. Naturally, the first item. Immortal Essence Stones? Right. Li Juning could not help chuckling at Zhao Lianyun's puzzled look. Whether it be Bright Eye Flowers or Clear Chance Grass, the amount provided by the sect won't be enough for you to plant them on a large scale. If these resources are not planted on a large scale, they will lose their significance. So, you need a large amount of Immortal Essence Stones to purchase their seeds and plant them. Immortal Essence Stones are an important resource which Gu immortals must have reserves of, because they are not only the most common currency in transactions of Gu immortals, they also have value in being turned into immortal essence for your own use. I see. Then I shall choose Immortal Essence Stones. Without any hesitation, Zhao Linyun quickly exchanged for the 3 items from Lu Feng's will. The 2 left Secret Inheritance Peak and flew outside. Before they parted, Li Juning gave a sum of immortal essence stones to Zhao Linyun. Sister Linyun, Su Hao and I are lending you these 3,000 immortal essence stones. Feel free to use them as much as you like, because there is no time limit for this loan. Ah, Zhao Linyun softly exclaimed, revealing a moved expression. The sect only gave me 1,000 immortal essence stones. But sister, you are directly giving me 3,000. How should I use it? Li Juning patted Zhao Linyun's shoulder. Silly girl, the sect has already given you a lot. You have the sect's support. You should know those lone cultivators and demonic immortals have to fight for even a piece of immortal essence stone. Speaking of immortal essence stone storage, a newly ascended rank 6 Gu immortal is almost completely broke. Those with 100 immortal essence stones are already in the mid-level of rank 6. Having 1,000 immortal essence stones is very rare among rank 6 Gu immortals. Your situation is different because you are not only a Gu immortal from one of the central continent's 10 great ancient sects, you are also the current generation fairy of Spirit Affinity House. You will be heavily prioritized by the sect, thus you are an exception. In normal situations in the 5 regions and 2 heavens, most rank 6 Gu immortals don't have more than 100 immortal essence stones. Few have several hundred, and very few have 1,000 immortal essence stones. And among rank 7 Gu immortals, they have at least several hundred immortal essence stones. Most have over 1,000, and very few have several tens of thousand immortal essence stones. This is just common knowledge. You can simply remember it. Many thanks for your guidance, sister. Zhao Linyun gave a deep bow with a grateful look. Li Junying's words were telling her that the sect did not mistreat her, and that she and her husband were also actively supporting her. I will definitely work hard. Zhao Linyun said solemnly. Li Juning nodded. Go cultivate. If you have any doubts, don't hesitate to write me a letter. You can also ask Su Hao. Yes. Joy flashed past Zhao Linyun's eyes. Having someone for guidance and learning by oneself were naturally 2 different concepts. Looking at Zhao Linyun's receding figure, Li Junying's smile slowly disappeared. Ever since Feng Jinhuang was taken under Duke Long, her life had become increasingly difficult. She and her husband Su Hao were of the famous anti-Feng faction. But now, the supreme elders of Spirit Affinity House knew that Feng Jinhuang was an immortal venerable seed with infinite future prospects. Fairy Lu Feng's attitude this time clearly showed the political direction of Spirit Affinity House. Li Juning had also expected this, and had thus accompanied Zhao Linyun to prevent anyone from reducing Zhao Linyun's sect benefits. Fortunately, that did not happen. It could be foreseen that this couple would have to face some political cold shoulders next. And in this coldness, they could only unite anyone they could, for instance Zhao Linyun, and then huddle together for warmth. Northern Plains, Chu tribe, the famous strength path Gu, immortal Chu, Du, put down an information path Gu worm in his hand. Fang Yuan, it is really not easy to be your friend. Chu Du gave a bitter smile. This letter Gu was sent by Fang Yuan. He was asking for immortal essence stones. Fang Yuan had once cooperated with Chu Du using the alias of Lu Guanyi, and their relationship had not been shallow. Not long ago, Heavenly Court assassinated Gu immortal Yun Liang, destroying Longevity Heaven's plan as well as publicizing the secret that Fang Yuan and Lu Guanyi were the same person, while incriminating the crime on Fang Yuan. Hence, Chu Du already knew Lu Guanyi was Fang Yuan, but Chu Du was not too surprised. In fact, he had once had suspicions regarding this, and had even sang a poem to test Fang Yuan. Whether it be Lu Guanyi or Fang Yuan, Chu Du wanted to collaborate with both. However, the current Chu Du's identity was different from before. He was now the first supreme elder of Chu tribe. He had a lot of Gu immortals under him, and was a member of the Righteous Path, a Northern Plains Righteous Path Gu immortal. If he continued to collaborate with Fang Yuan, the moment it was exposed, all his previous effort in creating his force would turn into naught. Collaborating with Fang Yuan was extremely risky. Chu Du had planned to ignore it at first and maintain a vague attitude. But Fang Yuan did not give him this opportunity, and directly sent a letter asking for immortal essence stones. And in this letter, Fang Yuan only mentioned of borrowing immortal essence stones. He intentionally did not mention the specific amount. The meaning was for Chu-Du to decide how much to lend. This made Chu-Du feel even more troubled, as expected of someone like Fang Yuan. Chu-Du sighed. Chapter 1450, 1,730,000. Oh, Chu-Du is lending me 150,000 immortal essence stones. Fang Yuan soon received Chu-Du's reply. Moreover, the amount Chu-Du was lending had slightly surpassed Fang Yuan's expectation. In Chu-Du's reply letter, he had written in euphemistic words. He talked about their pleasant past collaboration, then talked of how unexpected events and circumstances in life toyed with people and how their camps differed, which created an awkward situation. Moreover, lending 150,000 immortal essence stones was already his limit, and the time for returning it could be determined by Fang Yuan himself. Looks like Chu-Du still wants to continue collaborating with me. Reckless Savage's true meaning is tempting after all. This reply immediately let Fang Yuan know of Chu-Du's attitude and intention. Chu-Du was originally born a lone cultivator. Later he went against Lu tribe and was accused of being in the demonic path. Now he had established Chu tribe and was in the righteous path, but by nature he still prioritized his own benefits despite the high risks of collaborating with Fang Yuan. Due to the huge profits, Chu-Du did not hesitate to take the risk, not only lending 150,000 immortal essence stones, but also personally writing a reply letter. This letter goo might only be immortal goo, but its significance was not ordinary. If Fang Yuan took it out, it would be strong proof that Chu-Du was collaborating with the demonic path. But this was done intentionally by Chu-Du. He used this method to give Fang Yuan a hold on him, to express his sincerity in collaborating, and Fang Yuan felt this sincerity fully. I can continue to collaborate with Chu-Du, of course. The calamity beckoning goo I lent him before is also a strong foundation of collaboration between us. Fang Yuan was rather pleased. 150,000 immortal essence stones was already a high amount. Normally, a rank 6 goo immortal would have at most 1,000 immortal essence stones as reserve. Rank 7 goo immortals would have roughly 10,000. Most rank 7 goo immortals usually had several thousands of immortal essence stones as their reserve, and at rank 8 level, having several tens of thousands in reserve was the minimum. They would often have over 100,000, and those senior rank 8s would even have 1,000,000. As for rank 9, their immortal essence stones would reach 10 million, or even 100 million. Of course, it depended on the goo immortals' individual circumstances as far as organizations were concerned. An ordinary superforce would have around 1,000,000 immortal essence stones in reserve. Wu clan had such reserves, which is why in the Battle of the Dream Realm, Wu Yong did not hesitate to lend Fang Yuan 100,000 immortal essence stones. This was within the capability of Wu clan. Of course, Wu clan could lend much more, but Wu Yong thought this amount was enough for Fang Yuan to stabilize the immortal formation. And Chu tribe was a recently established superforce. Although they had many goo immortals, most of them were of strength path and had few assets to themselves. According to Fang Yuan's estimate, it was good if Chu tribe had 600,000 immortal essence stones in reserve, and Chu-Du had lent 150,000 from this reserve of 600,000 immortal essence stones, and with no time limit to return it. His sincerity was truly high. There was no doubt that immortal essence stones was also a factor to weigh a goo immortals and a force's strength, but it was not that the more money you saved, the better. Just piling up money without making use of it was like collecting dust. Storage of immortal essence stones followed the same logic. With Chu-Du's support, Fang Yuan's originally emptied immortal essence stone storage jumped to 150,000, but Fang Yuan was not satisfied. He continued to patiently wait for replies. He had not only sent the letter to Chu-Du, but also sent them to the 3 eccentrics of Crazed Demon Cave, as well as Miao Ming Shun of Eastern Sea, asking for immortal essence stones. The request for immortal essence stones was only one objective. Fang Yuan had another goal as well. It was to know their attitudes, especially in this sensitive time when his Lu Guan-E identity was exposed. The replies of the 3 crazed demon eccentrics and Miao Ming Shun came almost at the same time. Both sides agreed to Fang Yuan's request, each lending a sum of immortal essence stones. The former gave 200,000 immortal essence stones, while the latter gave 100,000. The three crazed demon eccentrics' attitude towards Fang Yuan had gotten even more warm than before, with no issues regarding Fang Yuan's true identity. As far as these three were concerned, they did not care about the fight between the righteous path or demonic path. From their perspective, there was only limitless true inheritance. They would acknowledge anyone that could help them achieve this desire, and the stronger Fang Yuan became, the higher their acknowledgement of him. As for Miao Mingshun, he had a pleasant interaction with Fang Yuan's other identity, Chuing. In the trading convention, Fang Yuan had taken the initiative to sell lifespan Gu to Miao Mingshun. This sharply elevated Fang Yuan's status to Miao Mingshun. Therefore, Miao Mingshun had specially written in the letter, his funds were quite tight recently. 100,000 was his current limit, but if it was not enough, he could borrow from his friends to aid Fang Yuan. Like this, Fang Yuan got 3 batches of immortal essence stones, the total amount reaching 450,000. Whether it be his previous life or currently, he had never possessed such an enormous sum of immortal essence stones. However, Fang Yuan did not stop borrowing. He then discussed with Lang Yalan Spirit and borrowed a sum of immortal essence stones, and also used his sect contribution points to exchange for another sum until it reached Lang Yalan Spirit's bottom line. I cannot exchange anymore. Although you have a lot of sect contribution points, the sect also needs to have some in reserve to prepare for any unexpected situations. Lang Yalan's Spirit firmly refused in these recent few years. Because of his development plan for the Blessed Land, the rich foundation was being constantly expended. Adding on the previous time when Fang Yuan used large amounts of sect contribution points to exchange for immortal materials, as well as make Langya sect refine immortal goo. Langya sect's foundation was further expended sharply. When Langya Land Spirit refused Fang Yuan, Langya sect had no more than 300,000 immortal essence stones left in reserve. Fang Yuan then asked Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing had inherited by Xiang Grotto Heaven. It should have had a huge immortal essence stone reserve. Among the Shadow Sect Gu immortals, Bai Ningbing was the richest. He Lulan was the poorest, and Ying Wuxia was similar. Although he had possessed Fairy Chui Bo's body, her immortal aperture and resources were all taken by Bai Ningbing as battle spoils. After Lady White Rabbit and Fairy Miao Yin heard of Fang Yuan's action, they took the initiative to lend some immortal essence stones, although the amount was rather small. Among all the lenders, Lady White Rabbit's terms were the most lax. She had even said with a flushed face that it would not matter even if Fang Yuan did not return the immortal essence stones. At second were Fairy Miao Yin and Chu Du, who did not put a limit on the time of return. The 3 crazed demon eccentrics wanted to make use of Fang Yuan, but their friendship was shallow after all, so they lent according to the market rate. Lang Yalan Spirit did the same. Among them, Miao Mingshin's time limit was the most lax. The harshest loan term was from Bai Ningbing. She mentioned a rather interesting condition. She could lend a large amount of immortal essence stones to Fang Yuan, but the more Fang Yuan borrowed, the higher the interest and shorter the return time. Fang Yuan then borrowed most of her immortal essence stones. After borrowing from here and there, Fang Yuan's immortal essence stones had reached an astonishing amount of over 1,730,000, a huge sum. This reserve had already surpassed what Chu tribe, Langya's sect, and most of the superforces could take out. Among Gu immortals, almost no rank 6 and rank 7 Gu immortals had such capital. Even among rank 8 Gu immortals, only few possessed such capital. They were usually long-time rank 8 experts with a reserve of more than 1,000,000 immortal essence stones. Naturally, this was purely comparing quantity. The truly healthy form of assets was to maintain balance between income and expenditure. Fang Yuan might be holding this huge sum, but it was not his. He had only borrowed it in an instant. Fang Yuan was deep in debt. However, he was not nervous at all. He was fully confident he could use these immortal essence stones to earn even more.